This is DJT on the 5-minute time frame. A trader named Fat Lips Jr. says that Trump is making a huge announcement in the coming weeks. And it was when he was talking about TikTok and how it would be terrible if they ban it and big tech gets control. I have not looked at this stock for quite some time, so I thought it would be fun to check it out. I remember back in 2020 when Microsoft was trying to buy TikTok and it did not pan through, obviously. I'm a huge investor of Microsoft. And fast forward to today, Trump says Biden would be responsible for any TikTok ban. In this article, it says that Trump has argued that curbing TikTok would strengthen Meta platforms, and he blames Meta for helping Biden win the election, and I agree with that statement. Now, under the legislation, according to this article, app stores operated by Apple, Google, and others could not legally offer TikTok or provide web hosting services to ByteDance-controlled applications once the divestment deadline has passed. In February, Biden's re-election campaign joined TikTok. Trump's campaign has not. So let's go ahead and break down the chart for you. Now, we ended the day at $49.93, up a whopping 6.94%. So congratulations if you've made some money off of DJT. The day's range, 47.11. The day's high range is $50.75. The 52-week low, $12.40, and the 52-week high, $79.38. So obviously we are down compared to where we were previously. Volume at 10 million, average volume at roughly 11 million with a market cap, of 6.83 billion. For the week, we are up 40%. For the month, down 28%. And year to date, up a whopping 283%. Now, looking at this chart, to the north side from where we are takes us back to the middle of the trend and the baseline. Let me move this out of the way. And from where we are, this is resistance and a potential take profit area. Obviously, depends on when you bought in. That is roughly at $50.91. To the north side of that takes us to $52.92, another level of resistance and another potential take profit area. That's an outlier. And here as well at resistance at $53.97. $54.94. This basically, if you are just trading, scalping, trying to get in and out, this is a sell signal, and another sell signal. Now to the south side at support, $48.95, a potential bounce area, another support level, roughly $47.93. A gap forms to the south side at $47.53, closes out at -4 standard deviations, and another level of support, $46.87 roughly. And if we get to this line, and here, I will anticipate a bounce as people buy the dip. Obviously, if it's down here and we get back up to this line, that then turns into resistance and a potential take profit area. It depends again on where you buy in. Now looking left, I'm going to flip this to the 15-minute time frame so you can see more of this chart. But when you flip it to the different time frames, it gives you different buy and sell signals. So let me just go back to the 5 and keep it consistent, and then I'll just show you that again in a second. But note, looking left, the bounce at support, support. We are making higher highs right now. The channel on the 5-minute time frame is going up. It has not gone sideways and then reversing down. This is a pretty strong channel going up. And then you can see where we sold off, where people took their profits and they ran, they locked in, and they left. Here, this whole area. And now we're back down to this level with a bounce. Couldn't quite make it to the middle of the trend, and sometimes we never get there before it starts cracking again. But because we are in an upward channel, I will anticipate to fall a little bit and then a bounce up, because I have not seen a correction going sideways, basing, consolidating. When you see that and then it goes down, then you can see that there's a shift and a change in these lines here on the linear, okay? And now let me flip this to the 15-minute. You can see the big picture, or more of the big picture. But note this drop. This is when the ticker symbol changed over from Truth Social to DJT on March 26th. And we hit a high there of 79.10. So let me turn off the magnet because it makes everything get wonky if you're not one tick past the line there. Move this out of the way again. This was a fall of 71%. And now we're on our way back up again. And we are up, I think that's the high right here, 123%. What goes up, though, keep this in mind, must come down. What goes down won't necessarily get back up again, but sometimes you have to get down to get back up. That's for trading stocks and in life as well. So you cannot expect a stock to keep running and running and running without consolidating, basing, going down for possibly another leg up. I will show you what this looks like on the daily. Right, and we have a gap that takes us all the way back down to $10.08. Obviously, we are not even close to that. We're not in the channel, not in the zone, not even there, but something to be aware of should we dramatically reverse course. On the daily, you can see that the chart is also going up, so that's good if you like to go long. Now, it is hard to look at this and see where we are, but this is where I just charted this out at 49.93. So to the north side, the next channel up is right here, and that takes us to 53.33. Should we go up from there, 61.10 and 68.93. And if we get to these lines, again, expect price to fall once we hit resistance as people take their profits and they run. Again, this is on the daily time frame, bigger picture. To the south side, back at the middle of the trend, and support takes us to 37.35. And that's all I want to give you, because I don't want to give you any targets after that, because it's going to take a long time to get there. You've got many, many, many trades to get to that level. The RSI is turning up. We are not overextended yet. So expect, though, if we do hit that, when we finally crash, that price will fall in line with it in general. But looking left, you cannot expect RSI to hit this key level of overbought without cracking, and this potentially was your buy-in. And same as this area, and this area, and this area, and this area, and this area. You just have to keep your expectations low and trade the price action. And use your indicators, your Fibonacci retracements, your Bollinger Bands, your trend lines, your VWAP, whatever it is that you use. Now on the monthly, I'll just go to the weekly first. RSI is turning up, but look, this line here has started to come down, peaked out. So when this touches, I think this will start to crack. So keep in mind that we were overbought and then we fell back down. We could go back up again and then crash. All right. There's that nasty gap to the south side, but we've got another one. We got to get to 1844 first, and those other gaps that I talked about here. And the highest we ever got to was this point at 174.52. That first crack took us all the way down to right here, this line, down 92% there. But from here up to there is a return of 528%. Can you imagine? Now, on the monthly, again, different buy and sell signals on the different time frames. Look at that. We've started to crack. We didn't quite get to 70 and above, and sometimes we never do, and we start to crack. But there you go. Check out your MACD as well. All right, we're starting to fall. So there's more pain ahead of us on the monthly time frame, the bigger picture, and that's where I like to do my investing. So I am not a buyer at this level. I need it to crash and burn before I get in. And if you're trying to get out, obviously, and if you bought down here, you're still up ahead. But if you bought up here and you're cracking, that's a whole different story. Back to the 5-minute time frame. All right, and note obviously the lower highs as well. Higher highs and lower highs on DJT. Now, and notice when I flip back to the 5-minute, the chart gets wonky. Look, this moved all the way over here, and this should be right here, but it's not. It's because TradingView has not figured out how to fix these problems, and they made the calculations, they changed the way you see this on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, and I liked it much better when I was first using TradingView, and now it drives me bonkers. All right, let me take this down so that way I know. Let me just fix this really quickly and then move on to another ticker for you. And that is RUM. Fat Lips Jr. is also interested in this ticker. I know that it's popular, a meme stock. I hear people talking about it, but I've never really looked at it because I have so many other trades going on that I do not need to get into another one. All right. So for this one, we are at 706, up 1.88%. The day's low, 672. The day's high, 707. The 52-week low, $3.33. And the high, 11.25. Obviously, we have cracked since then. Now, for the performance, we are up 13%, almost 14% for the week. So congratulations if you're in that and making some money. But for the month, we are down 11%. For the year, down 12%. Considered a strong buy in the technicals. They do not give us price targets for that one or for DJT, Donald Trump's ticker. All right. Now, to the north side, resistance, a potential take profit area, and an outlier here at 712, 719, and 726. Support where we will get to 697. Wherever we are, you can anticipate going through support to get to the south side, or if you're at the south side, going through the middle of the trend to get to the north side. So from where we are, if we get to this area, this is resistance. And if we fall down, this turns into support. So support is 697 roughly. Another level of support, 683, 675, and 667. Looking left on the 5-minute. We started to crack here, bounced off, and when we are up here, this turns into support and a bounce up to resistance and a sell-off, back down, and then grinding along here, along the line, and then a bounce. And I never anticipate price to go above 4 standard deviations and stay there. It won't happen. That's an anomaly. Don't expect it. Trade the price action, lock in and leave if that's your trading style, if that's what you're trying to do, because it will fall down. It could go sideways and then go back up again, see, for another leg up. But to stay there, no way. And then if you're playing this, look at all the gap opportunities. So if you play the gap, this gapped, let me turn on my magnet. This gapped down. So I anticipate it to fill on the way up. That's how gaps work. So create your little box, color code it so you know that green means it's to the north side, red is to the south side. And this is going down, so I anticipate it to fill up, and it touched right here. Now I need to change my color on my box, and boom, that is done. So that filled to the north side at 654. So I know that down here that it'll eventually get to this price. So a quick scalp or a quick trade, taking it to here and then getting off the gravy train, because you don't know what's going to happen. But grinding along, price will always grind along the middle of the trend before it makes its way up or it makes its way down. So from here, we went up, grinding along and up. And then what happens at resistance? People take their profits and they run, and they left you high and dry up here. Then you had to buy in here and then pray, fingers crossed, that it goes back up. But if you buy using the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, it will help you possibly get in at a better price. And with the gap trades, it increases the probability that whatever you're thinking the direction is going to go will hit. It's just more probabilities. The more probabilities you have to hit that target using the MACD, the RSI, the linear, the gap, it makes it a better trade for you. And let me go to the daily really quickly, even though I don't really do that anymore for my charting for you guys. I do that for me because no one's interested, but people are interested in the quick price action. But for the daily, here are your ranges up here. Roughly 804 resistance, and you know what happens, 949, and should we be so lucky to get to this level, 1086. To the south side, where it's very possible at support, which will line up with this gap fill. So I think that that could happen. It's going to take a while. It's not going to get there overnight, but that's many trades to get there. But overall on the daily, look, the channel is going down. Is the RSI going down? Nope. So the RSI is going up. That's good. So maybe this channel will even itself out and start to go sideways, and then this will go up, and then this will go up accordingly. So right now, this channel isn't as severe as it could be. So maybe it's smoothing out. That remains to be seen. All right, but if we get back to the middle of the trend, which is very doable, that also closes out that gap. So that's like a magnet for me, driving this down, then possibly, because this will turn into support and then bounce off. And then jerk you around and then go back down again, and then maybe close out this gap and go back and look at other gaps. So that's the daily. So we've got plenty of room to the upside on the RSI, same as the weekly. But you know, there's another gap that will take us down here to 362. Will we get there to 362? Possibly, but that is a long ways off. Again, it's going to be slow and painful to get down to there, but it is plausible. But that's not right now. All right, here we are on the monthly. So we are going down. So I anticipate price to go down with it in general. So there's going to be some bleeding to the downside until this thing reverses itself and crosses over. But note, we never did touch 70 or above, but we started to crack. See, and then we went back up again here. And price at that point was at roughly 583. And then going sideways. I use this as support and resistance, keeping it simple. Now let me flip this back to the 5-minute time frame and see how that made my chart get wonky again. Oh, it drives me crazy, so I really can't flip time frames for you easily without messing up the chart. Oops, let me get it off of that. Let me get the price back on. Here, let me go to the 15 and fix this. All right. Back to the 5. 706. Yes. All right. It's looking good. And congratulations if you are in the pot space, which I am. It ran like crazy today off of some great news. Apparently, the government, one branch of the government is going to be speaking to another branch of the government to try to get pot legalized. You know, they're going to do it. It's not a matter of if, but when. It's all about greed and money, and the government wants to tax the pot and get a piece of the pie. Plus, everybody's doing it. I'd rather be around a pothead all day long than an alcoholic or a cokehead. I've been around a lot of alcoholics. So, all day long, I will take pot, although I don't smoke it. I don't like to be around it. I think it's nasty, but I will trade the space. So, I am in High Tide, Sundial, MSOS for myself and for my mom, Grow Generation, and that's it. But congratulations if you are in CGC, Canopy Growth Corporation, up 78%. And MSOS is what I am in. Ignore all of the pink lines. Those are my previous buy-in lines, the greens, the sell, and look at that. Blew past that. You just never know when things are going to run to the north side, but it could happen to the south side as well and flush you out, destroy your account. And that is why it's important to set your limits to this, to get out. Definitely protect your money. But let me show you this on the monthly time frame. It looks like a hot mess, I know. And by the way, if you own property at Desert Creek, please dump Donna Turberg, Richard Ramsey, and Vicky Brancato. It is time for change, and I hope that you, if you own a property again, run for the board. That's my public service announcement. All right, look at this. I did buy in previously at $6.22. I have sold those shares, but I'm still up on this one. I think today it's up 24%, and I don't know what I'm up. So I'll go over the cannabis stocks again at some point as I have in the past. But congratulations if you made some money today. And that does it for me. That is a look at DJT, Trump Media Technology Group, and rum and the cannabis stocks really quickly. Have a great trading day.